can listen my voice, please use the image. I'm sorry. We are checking the sound system. Okay, great. Thank you. First of all, thank you for joining our event called K-May Meeting on Metaverse. This is second meeting, which is about the religious activities, something like that. And as you know, and also I know that you already prepared your short presentation of each topic, and then I can give you the 3 minutes per participants to present. And then let's start. If you have any question during the presentation, or if having like technical difficulties, please let us know so that we can fix the problem. Anyhow, let's start. Park-Gun-woo, could you start your presentation about your distribution of the religions in Korea?
Can everyone hear?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Hello everyone, I'm Connor Park and I'm majoring in English, Linguistics and Language Technology at Korea University of Foreign Studies. Today, I would like to talk about the distribution of religions in Korea. First of all, the percentage of people who believe in religion is not that high. According to the results of the investigation by Hankuk Research, only 49% of people have their religion. There are 3 major religions in Korea, which account for the majority of the distribution ratio. Those are Protestantism accounting for 20%, Buddhism accounting for 17%, and Catholicism accounting for 11%. Also, it's not that big of a difference, but women were more likely to believe in religion than men, and the percentage decreased with age. It means that young people are becoming less interested in religion. I think this result actually presents the perception of religions in Korea. Korea is one of the countries in which the state has completely replaced the role of religion. Korean society is quite non-religious, and we take the separation of religion and politics for granted. Language, rules, and anything else that can be originated from religions are just made by the government. Most Koreans define their identities following the ethics and norms set by the country, not by their religion or their religious beliefs. Because of these conditions, religions just remain a kind of small group that provides mental stability. For this reason, Korean society shows a unique appearance in which different religions coexist. For instance, Catholicism and Buddhism have different roots and systems, but both exist quite peacefully. It is hard to say that there is no religious conflict at all, but it is certain that the ratio is lower than that of other countries. As mentioned earlier, the percentage of people who do not have a religion in Korea is high, so the understanding and the interest in religion are also relatively low. As there is little interest in religion, freedom about various religions is guaranteed, but it is a little regrettable that the culture related to those things has not been prosperous. Apart from freedom of religion, I hope that people could have more opportunities to contact and experience more diverse religions and know better about them. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for summarizing the briefing about Korean religion. Yeah, thank you. Actually, after the all 11 presentation, we're gonna have a Q&A session. Let's postpone our questions and after the presentation. Yeah, so let's move on to the next presenter, whose name is Dana Goldfuss.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
So should I start? Everybody
Yes,
can see
please.
me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Anna and I'm going to be talking about the Israeli Military Defense Force, or in short the IDF. In Israel we call the IDF tzal. So at the age of 18, all citizens of the country have a mandatory service of 2 years for girls and 2 years and 8 months for boys. There are some exceptions for different kinds of jobs. For example, a pilot is required at least 7 years in the military. Not everyone goes to the military though, because of mental, physical, or otherwise religious beliefs. And in that instance, they might do some volunteer work, which someone else is going to talk about. The enlistment process starts while you are at school, when you get letters and messages in the mail regarding dates of different types of tests you need to do. Those tests are being done to determine what kind of role is best suited for you. In the same time, not everyone gets what they want. The military is, after all, a big organization, and in the end, it is in need of a certain amount of people for different kinds of jobs. After finishing the entire process, you get mails in the emails and such, on which to arrive on one of the enlisting posts and start your military service. There are some exceptions to those who want to study certain jobs, such as doctor, technician, or lawyer. In that case, the army helps the person study, and in return, they sign over certain conditions they must do once they finish. For example, a certain time they need to keep on servicing in the army. Could be 3 years, could be 5. In the military, we have 3 different types of military service routes. Regular service, which is the mandatory service I did. There's dependent service, which is when you decide you want to keep working in the army for a longer period of time. And then there's the reserve service, in which citizens are called for active duty for almost a month and a year, according with what is needed for training and all ongoing activities, mostly to train, but sometimes for active duty. We have, unlike in Korea, I assume, 2 different types of bases. An open base, which is more like a job, and then a closed base, which you practically live in. It could be for a few days, could be for a few weeks, or a few months. I had the chance to live there for a few months during the corona. And one thing that is really, I think, different in the Israeli army from other countries is the fact that since the military service is mandatory for everyone of the age of 18, it is a place where we generally get people to mature and meet different types of people we haven't met and didn't want to go out of their way to see or talk to. For example, we have minorities such as Arabs, Jews, we have Ethiopian Jews, LGBTQ plus people, volunteers, overseas volunteers, and many more cases. In my case, I worked as a social worker services and at a closed base where I met a lot of kinds of socio-economical backgrounds. Some didn't have a lot of money, some were abandoned by the parents, and many other stories happy and sad. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you for your briefing. Actually, and also I served in the army for 2 years. Personally, I'm really interested in your briefing. The next presenter, her name is Go-Junhee. She's also talk about the characteristic of divided nation and Korean military system. Go-Junhee, please. Floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Junhee Ko, studying Chinese Foreign Affairs. My topic is characteristic of a divided nation and Korean military system. In 1945, we were liberated from the Japanese Empire, but after 3 years, the Korean War broke out and Korea was divided into the 2 nations. There is a ceasefire at the moment. Actually, the Korean War was a proxy war between the United States of America and the Soviet Union. We have had an unfortunate history of being enemies to each other, although we are one people. Not only because of the ceasefire, but also because of geographical factors bordering Russia, China, and Japan, national defense is very important issue to us. So in Korea, only annual defense budget is more than 50 trillion won, and every man has a duty of national defense for about 2 years at a certain age. There are several problems to solve for the armed forces. Let me introduce 3 of them. First, over-dependence on US and Japan for cyber power. Second, a rigid and authoritative military culture. Third, a low birth rate. In Korea, the birth rate is decreasing year by year. So the number of young people who can be conscripted is decreasing. However, Korea must be a country with a great military power compared to its small territory, and due to North Korea's presence and the dangerous surrounding 3 countries, we need to be stronger. But in fact, the increase in defense spending does not do anything. Rather than being a military power, I hope that real peace will come to Korea soon. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Thank you. Yeah, let's go to next. Ruth Sabari. Yeah. Please talk about volunteering in Israel.
Yes, so my name is Ruth, and I'm going to talk about volunteering culture in Israel. I think volunteering culture in Israel is interesting because almost everyone volunteers at least once in their life. That is because in order to get a high school diploma, you must volunteer as an individual and as a class and get about 30 hours of volunteer work. Most students volunteer at a nearby elementary school, a nursing home, or a charity that the school usually works with. After high school, those who can't join the army because they're religious or have mental or physical limitations can choose to volunteer for national service, or in Hebrew it translates to Shirut Leumi. It consists of mostly religious Jewish girls, and volunteering can be for either 1 year or 2. The main fields of volunteering are education, health, government, or security, and community. In order to volunteer, the person has to go through an interview and be accepted based on their skills and suitability to the role they're trying out for. Once a person is accepted, they get certain benefits. The most significant ones are a monthly allowance of about 700 Israeli shekels, which amounts to 2,500 Korean won. They also get an apartment housing in the city where they're serving, and free bus and train ride. Since I'm religious, I did national service. I was in a technological high school for at-risk youth, which is a school where the graduates receive a professional certificate in addition to a high school diploma in order to get them a job, since a lot of them don't go to college afterwards. In this high school, I helped kids with learning difficulties and taught them outside of class in order to help them pass their final tests. I also did all kinds of social activities for the holidays or special days. I was at the school for 2 years, which is the maximum, but as I said, people can do it for only 1 year too. The second type of volunteer work I'm going to talk about is volunteering as a part of scholarship in university. There's various types of scholarship volunteering. A special kind, in my opinion, is HaShomer HaChadash, or the New Guard, which is an organization of people guarding farms, usually in South Israel, where there's a lot of theft. The volunteers guard the farm instead of the family usually living there and giving them a night off. I did it for, I think, once or twice, and my friend here, Shachar, gets a scholarship for volunteering regularly. As I said, everyone in Israel volunteers at least once in their life, but I think it's usually more than that. And I think it's a beautiful thing in Israeli society, and that's why I chose to talk about it.
Thank you. I have some question, but let me put aside and then let's go to the next presenter. Miss or Mr. Jo-eun. Yeah, please speak about the discrimination against the disabled.
Hello everyone, I am Eun, majoring in Turkish at HUFS. Today, I would like to present to you the problem of disability discrimination in Korea. In Korea, more than 2.6 million people are registered as having disabilities. This is not a small number, amounting to about 5% of the total population of Korea. Even though it accounts for a fairly large proportion, disabled people who live in Korea still answer that they have had experiences of discrimination. According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare survey in 2020, 42% of the disabled aged from 15 to 29 answered that they have felt or feel social discrimination. In reality, there are still many hardships they're going through right now. First, the problem of education. Parents of disabled actually want their child to run in ordinary schools with non-disabled. But because of bullying of non-disabled, the parents prefer to send their child to special schools, which are schools that have special education classes and curriculum only for the disabled. However, these schools are expensive and there are some views of concerning that it will be only further isolation of the disabled from our society. Plus, it's hard to build special school in our non-disabled world at first, since there are voices reluctant to do. Second, the public facilities are inconvenient for disabled people to use. In subway stations, many disabled people in mobility difficulties are having a hard time moving in rush hours. Newly, there are not enough elevators and have narrow capacities. Also, blind people are in huge threat because sidewalk blocks are disappearing due to cosmetic issues raised by the not blind. Although awareness of the disabled is improving more and more now, discrimination toward them still exists in large numbers. It's common that producing legislation and facilities only for the convenience of non-disabled without consideration about the disabled. It can lead to make the disabled feel more there in the minority. We should remember that point. The government needs to stop neglecting but support them in active ways such as drawing up bills and programs especially for the disabled. We should always pay attention to their needs and have to embrace them as a normal member of society to real equality. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you for your precious briefing. Actually, let's move on to the next presenter. Her name is Noah Fadida. Sorry, she wanna talk about Old City of Jerusalem.
Hi everyone.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. I will be speaking about the Old City of Jerusalem. So in general, Jerusalem is the capital state of Israel, and it resides about 980,000 people, and it is the largest city in Israel in terms of population. The Old City of Jerusalem is considered a religious and cultural center, and as of 1981, it is also a World Heritage Site in the list of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. The Old City of Jerusalem is traditionally divided into 4 sectors: the Muslim quarter, the Christian quarter, the Armenian quarter, and the Jewish quarter. The Temple Mount is the one that does not belong to any quarter and is the home to the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is believed to be as part of the Muslim faith where Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven. It is also the holiest site in Judaism and was once the site of the first and second Jewish temples. Today, Jews are only allowed to visit the Western Wall, and ascending to the Temple Mount is allowed only under the supervision of the border police. In the Christian quarter resides the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which also contains the site where Jesus was crucified and his empty tomb where he was buried and then resurrected, according to tradition. The Muslim quarter used to be of a mixed population up until the riots of 1929. Nowadays, there are some Jewish homes and one yeshiva, which is a religious institute dedicated to studying Jewish religious texts. Below the Muslim quarter runs the Western Wall tunnels along the Western Wall. The Kotel Katan, which is like Tsar Wall, is also located in the Muslim quarter territory. The first 7 stations of the cross are also located in the Muslim quarter. The Armenian quarter is the smallest of all quarters. The Armenian presence in Jerusalem dates back to the 4th century AD, when Armenia adopted Christianity as a national religion and Armenian monks settled in Jerusalem. Despite the small population, the Armenians and their patriarch maintained their independent and strong presence. Today, more than 3,000 Armenians reside in Jerusalem, 500 of them in the Armenian quarter. The Patriarchate still owns the land in this quarter and cares for the maintenance of the sites in it. The Jewish quarter, or Hawava in Hebrew, has a rich history, its presence dating back to the 8th century BCE. During the 1940 Israeli-Arab War, the quarter fought the Arab Legion. However, on May 1948, it had to surrender, some Jewish residents being taken captive, while the rest were evacuated. Afterwards, a crowd then pillaged and razed the quarter. After Israel liberated the quarter and the rest of Jerusalem during the Six-Day War of 1967, the quarter was earmarked for rehabilitation as a tourist destination and a residential neighborhood. The Hebrew University also supervised archaeological excavations that took place in the quarter after the war, and those findings are displayed in museums and outdoor parks in the city. I skip talking about the gates, however, I do recommend reading about them and their cultural significance. Personally, I chose to speak about the Old City because I believe it's the heart of Jerusalem and the place where the past meets the present. You can take either the bus or the light rail and visit these beautiful places that hold incredible meaning to so many people and of different religions and ethnic backgrounds. Hopefully one day political disputes can be put aside so everyone can feel safe and visit cultural and holy sites comfortably. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Whenever I visit the Old City in Jerusalem, I feel like some kind of like a special aura or special atmosphere in there. Very, very special. I really like. Yeah, let's move on to the next presenter. Her name is Han Jung-yeon. She want to talk about the Korea's metropolitan area consent issue. Ms. Han, the floor is yours. Can you start?
Can you hear my voice? Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Han Jung-yeon and I am majoring in English, Literature and Culture at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. Today I would like to talk about the centralization of metropolitan area, especially Seoul, which is the capital city of Korea. First, let me explain about the concentration of the population in the metropolitan area. In the past, in order to make rapid development, the government expanded the infrastructure intensively in Seoul and adjacent cities, and it led to the population growth in these areas. Accordingly, many overwhelming infrastructures were created to meet the demand of the residents. As a result, Seoul and neighboring cities have achieved remarkable growth, while the small cities and rural areas have been less developed. Moreover, this tendency has been continued until now. The government implements policies centered on metropolitan area. Many good things are concentrated in metropolitan area, including good jobs and universities. Therefore, a large number of young people want to move on there. Especially, the population density of Seoul is severe. Seoul is one of the largest concentrations in the world. The population of Busan, which has the second largest population in Korea, accounts for only 35% of Seoul's population. Moreover, even if any two different cities in Korea are combined, it cannot exceed Seoul's population. This phenomena hinders the development of the provinces due to the decreasing number of young people there. It has been studied exactly how to make provinces developed. However, it is unlikely to be solved easily, as has occurred over a long period of time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your presentation. It's kind of like a chronic problem in Korea. Let's move to the next presenter, Hadar El Nisani. Yeah, she's going to talk about superstitions in Judaism, which is nothing mysterious. Yeah, could you speak about?
Hadar's not feeling well. She's here, so I'm gonna read her part.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So superstitions in Israel change among different communities and individuals, as the country is home to people from diverse religions and cultural backgrounds. While some superstitions are universal, others are specific to certain groups or regions. Here are a few examples. Evil eye, or Ayin Hara. Belief in the evil eye is widespread in Israeli culture. It is believed that some people can bring misfortune or harm to others. To protect against the evil eye, people may wear or display amulets, such as the Hamsa, a hand-shaped charm, or recite prayers. Mazel tov. The phrase Mazel tov, meaning good luck in Hebrew, is often said to congratulate someone on special occasions, such as a wedding or the birth of a child. It is believed that wishing good luck can bring health positive outcomes. Breaking a glass at weddings. In Jewish weddings, the groom breaks a glass underfoot at the end of the ceremony. This act is believed to send away evil spirits and remind the couple of the destruction of the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. Friday the 13th. Just like in many other countries, the date Friday the 13th is often considered unlucky in Israel. Some people may avoid making important decisions or taking risks on this day. Knocking on wood. The superstition of knocking on wood to avoid tempting fate or jinxing oneself is also observed in Israel. When discussing something positive or making plans, people may lightly tap or knock on a wooden surface to prevent any negative consequences. Shattered mirror. Breaking a mirror is considered to bring 7 years of bad luck in Israeli superstition, similar to many other cultures around the world. To counteract the negative effects, some people believe that the mirror pieces should be buried or disposed of immediately. Lucky numbers. Like in many other cultures, certain numbers are considered lucky or unlucky. For example, the number 18 is considered a very strong number because it represents life in Hebrew. It is common to give monetary gifts in multiple of 18 for special occasions like weddings or in bar bat mitzvahs. Red pomegranates. Pomegranates are considered a symbol of fertility, abundance, and good luck in Jewish tradition. Many people place pomegranates in their homes or incorporate them into holiday decorations to bring blessing and prosperity. Salt. In some Jewish households, it is believed that spilling salt brings bad luck. To counteract this, some people quickly toss a pinch of salt over the left shoulder. While superstitions are prevalent in Israeli culture, and not everyone in Israel subscribes to these beliefs, some may follow them out of tradition or cultural significance, while others may not give them much importance. Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you. I think the Korean students can tell us many kinds of superstition in Korea as samples in the Q&A session, I think. Yes. Let's move on to the next presenter. His name is he or she, like Jaebin Lee, Lee Jaebin. She or he want to talk about 독도 issue. Yeah. Jaebin Lee. The floor is yours.
It's actually he, and
Shalom.
Sorry.
Hello everyone, I am Jevin Lee and I'm majoring in Spanish at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. Today I would like to talk about Dokdo, a small group of islets located in the East Sea between Korea and Japan. Dokdo consists of two main islets, Dongdo and Seodo, and 35 smaller rocks. The islets are situated about 87 kilometers east of South Korea's Ulleungdo Island and about 157 kilometers northwest of Japan's Oki Islands. Dokdo has been an important topic of dispute between Korea and Japan for many years. However, it is an indisputable fact that Dokdo is an inherent part of Korea's territory, historically, geographically, and under international law. The Korean government has continuously maintained and administered Dokdo since its liberation from Japan's colonial rule in 1945. Moreover, there are numerous historical and geographical records that prove Korea's sovereignty over the islets for more than 1,500 years. In addition, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, confirms that Dokdo is an integral part of Korea's territory. The UNCLOS recognizes the natural prolongation of the continental shelf of coastal state as its exclusive economic zone and continental shelf. As such, Korea has exclusive rights over the resources in and under the seabed surrounding Dokdo. However, Japan has repeatedly made territorial claims over Dokdo, citing its historical records, but Japan's claims are based on an inaccurate interpretation of history and violate international law. Despite Japan's claims, Korea continues to emphasize the importance of protecting Dokdo's sovereignty. The Korean government allows Korean citizens and tourists to visit the islets and has established a Dokdo Day on October 25th to raise awareness about the importance of Dokdo's sovereignty. In conclusion, Dokdo is a significant symbol of Korea's sovereignty and territorial integrity. It is Korea's inherent territory supported by historical, geographical, and legal evidence. As a Korean citizen, I am proud of Dokdo's history and will continue to protect its sovereignty. Thank you for listening to the Lava.
Thank you for your presentation. And also, I heard a very good news that the government is planning to build the airport in Ulleung Island, where is the gateway of the Dokdo. Yeah, if the airport will be built, we can easily to visit the Dokdo. Let's move on to the next presenter, Shahar Altman. Hi, good morning. We want to talk about Israeli Jewish ethnic groups. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, my name is Shahar and I'm going to talk about Israeli Jewish ethnic groups. A fun fact about Israeli Jewish ethnic identity is that it is incredibly diverse and represent fusion of various Jewish communities from around the world. Israel is often referred to as a melting pot of Jewish cultures due to the large number of Jewish immigrants who have settled there since its establishment in 1948. This diverse mix of Jewish ethnicities contributes to the vibrant culture scene in Israel, where you can find a wide range of culinary delights, music, dance, art, and traditions from different Jewish communities. It's a testament to the global nature of the Jewish people and the connection forged over centuries of migration and history. Jewish ethnic groups in Israel can be broadly categorized into three main groups: Ashkenazi Jews, Sephardic Jews, and Mizrahi Jews. Here's a brief overview of each group. Ashkenazi Jews are descendants of Jewish communities that primarily lived in Central and Eastern Europe. They trace their ancestry to countries such as Poland, Russia, Germany, Lithuania, and Hungary. Second, Sephardic Jews have their origins in the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal, and the broader Mediterranean region. They were expelled from Spain and Portugal during the Spanish Inquisition in the late 15th century. Sephardic Jews resettled in various countries including North Africa, the Middle East, and the Balkans. Third, Mizrahi Jews, also known as Eastern Jews or Oriental Jews, originated from the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of Central Asia. Mizrahi Jewish communities include those from Iraq, Iran, Yemen, Syria, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and others. These categories serve as general classifications, but it's important to know that there is a considerable overlap and diversity within Jewish ethnic groups. Many Israeli Jews have mixed heritage or come from families that have roots in multiple regions. The Jewish ethnic groups in Israel have diverse traditions that are influenced by their respective historical backgrounds and cultural practices. The traditions of the major Jewish ethnic groups in Israel are expressed in language, customs, and cuisine. I am myself a mix of all the three. My family heritage is all over the Middle East and Europe. I am Syrian, Turkish, Bulgarian, Romanian, and Polish. My father's side is Ashkenazi Jewish and my mother's side is Sephardic and Mizrahi Jewish. It is also important to express that even though that most of the younger generation consider himself as tzavar, which means that you were born in Israel, it is still a subject that rises when you meet a new person when it comes to your ethnic background. You probably will always know the ethnicity of the people that surrounded you.
Thank you for your first answer. Let's resume the presentation of Taewon Kim. I tried to connect her through our speaker system, something like that. yeah. Taewon Kim, could you give us a briefing about your low birth rate issue?
Hi, my name is Taewon Kim. I'm sorry for the trouble.
But before you start, is there any problem for listening her voice? Could you hear her voice well? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. I'm a student of Hankuk University of Foreign Study. I'm majoring in English Literature and Culture. Today, I'll talk about the low birth rate of Korea. Today, South Korea is facing a variety of social issues. The declining birth rate is one of the more serious problems, which is a composite result of many problems in Korean society. In recent years, South Korea has been faced with a total fertility rate of 0.78, the number of children a fertile woman is expected to have in her lifetime. In 2020, South Korea ranked last out of 38 OECD countries with a rate of 0.84. Compared to other countries, Israel, which ranked first at 2.5, was more than 3 times the rate of Korea, and 0.4 away from Italy, which ranked 37th. Underlying causes of low birth rate including housing problems, the childcare environment, women's career breaks, and user problems. First, problems of housing costs. Not being able to buy a house on a salary is blamed. Second, to take care of their child, women often get pregnant since they use parental leave system. Many of them end up leaving the company, leading to career interruption. So, there are some places where children whose kids join takes this one lack of children because it interferes with one's business. Finally, young generation has difficulty getting a job. These difficulties have led to the idea that young people do not want to pass their life on their children, and young people are also avoiding childbirth. South Korea has spent about $200 billion over the 16 years since 2006 to increase the birth rate, which was declining, but this has not shown any real visible effect because South Korea's birth rate measures have been dominated by one measures, such as providing prospects for having children. Therefore, in order to increase the current declining birth rate, it will be necessary to establish policies and make continuous structural reforms aimed at having and raising children. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Because I'm a baby, I totally agree with your opinion.
Chaewon, good job. In
Yeah.
spite of technical difficulty, I think everyone could able to hear you. I have also a question. I think it was Hadar's presentation, if I remember correctly. So I have a question. Because I was doing something else, I didn't hear what you break for the great occasions. And you dispose salt. Because in Korea, when there's a misfortunate accident happens, people shed a salt in front of a gate to to ward off ghosts or a misfortunate spirit. Is that the same case in Israel?
I'm gonna answer this.
Anyone could answer,
yeah,
that would be appreciated.
So in Jewish weddings, in general, it's a traditional thing to break glass, like wine glass. You wrap it up in like aluminum or foil or something, and you break the glass when the ceremony is over. So this is like in memory of the destruction of the Jewish temple. And tossing a salt over the left shoulder is like, it's kind of similar, like to ward off evil spirits and bad luck and stuff like that. It's common belief. Personally, I think that like younger generations aren't as like interested or believe in these things as the like older generation. But yeah, tossing, it's kind of similar, like tossing salt, a pinch of salt over the left shoulder. Also in Judaism in general, it is believed that like in most meals you have salt on the table with like bread for like blessings and stuff like that. Also memory of the temple.
Thank you. I think in Korea also my grandparents or older generation, let's say that they used to use salt to ward off evil spirit as well. And in here, it's not about just there's no connection with religion per se, but it's more of I think handed down tradition and customs. I think that's different, but also some similarity that we have.
Totemism.
Yeah, Shamanism and totemism.
I'm sorry, 은조. 조은, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Volunteering. I understood that in Israel, it is regularly necessary to volunteering, right? Then, do you think there are any side effects of regularly forced volunteering?
And also, I have one more question about volunteering. As far as I understand, like you're paid when you do the volunteering, but is it correct or not? I'm really confused. I'm sorry.
As someone that volunteers right now, yes, I get paid. I get paid a lot of money, but there is a side effect to the volunteering, to the force in volunteering. You guard in my volunteering with the partner. The partner not always is responsible. They cannot stay awake at night. They don't do their job. So this is the one side effect that can be caused from volunteering. Not to be responsible enough to feel your duty.
But also, when we volunteer, as Ehud said, in middle school and high school, we do it without money. It is required to finish school. So it is not necessarily always by money. We do get money as we do other things in life, but the money is not always the main thing. Like Ehud said, the amount of money we get for the volunteer work is most likely gonna be very low. So it's not the main thing. I think the main side the main thing we get from it is like wanting to volunteer in other things. I did volunteer in other things after my school, so.
Is there any more questions? Because I want to give you a short intro about Old City Jerusalem, which Noah has presented. A few days ago there was celebration of Jerusalem Day. So we have clicked on our embassy YouTube, and I wanted to show you how you can access all the video contents we post. So if I play a YouTube, you will be able to see a notification on top of your screen that says screen share is started, I think. So you can click and view in 3D mode or full screen, but I recommend viewing in 3D screen, full screen. For Chewan, I'm sorry, I'll guide you personally after this meeting ends. So basically this is the page that we introduce Israeli culture, Israeli tradition, special days, and what we as an embassy here are doing, and we have a lot of video that's having ambassador as a main character as well. So if you search Israel in Korea on YouTube, you'll be able to find this channel. And I'm uploading a lot of videos thanks to Hebrew University students who's studying in Korea studies, and we also collaborate with other influencers, and we as I said, we feature ambassador in our channel, so make sure to check these out. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. And I think that's all from me. I'll give the microphone back to our academic officer.
Yeah, just a second. Do you think that your country needs to have distinct years from military service, like in Israel, when we have mandatory service from age 18 to the age 2021?
Yes. Personally, I like this system actually. It's kind of similar with equality. Everyone like it who is the age 18 in Israel went to military service altogether, and then they discharged all same years, and then not all same, but depends on the gender, but anyhow that they will be discharged at the same years, the same age, and then goes to university, somewhere goes to the other fields. But anyhow, sometimes Koreans have some kind of difficulty to enter the military, not enter means start the military service, because sometimes it's too competitive. It's a little bit ironical issue, but some people, for me as well, when I do the military service 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, but I couldn't start my military service when I really wanted to join because of the competition. Yeah, there's a lot of students wants to go to the military at a specific time. It means just before the semester starts, but I couldn't make it. I was failed at that moment.
I want to add. I think Konu and Chebik might agree with me, but there should be a leeway, not a mandatory service. I think, as a divided nation, we need a man to serve at a military, but as Hyuntaek just mentioned, someone wants to serve, but someone doesn't. Like, for example, there has been a lot of debate going on about BTS serving the military or not. Should the government give them other optional way to serve for their country? But at the end of the day, they went to the military. 2 of the members are serving. So I think there should be a conditional, optional ways in order to give back to the nation and defend the nation. And also for the female, now many of the young Korean female also assign for the military, and they, if they wish to, because there are a low birth rate issue in Korea. I think a lot of experts also saying that female should be encountered as female should be also encountered for the population for the mandatory military service, but it's not confirmed. So there's a lot of sayings and debate going on. So I feel like it's personal opinion. I feel like there shouldn't be any. I think it has to change eventually, considering this trend and low birth rate issue and etc. etc. So yeah, I hope it answers to your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you guys have any questions, I think one more question. Yes, Konu? Konu?
You can put your mic on and speak. Your mic is on actually. Noah also wants to speak. Okay?
Yes. Noah, could you speak first and then?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about women military. In Israel, women serve in special units, combat units, combat soldiers, and in tanks, stuff like that. I wanted to ask if you have something like that. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it is one of the most controversial issues in Korea now. Yeah, any Korean students can answer these questions.
No one?
No one? Actually, women military service is not a mandatory in Korea. Only about volunteer-based service. And yes, if there's a woman combat in the military base, but it's only for only for those who voluntarily join the military, actually. And I think I'm not sure, but I think like all citizens, like Rome's case, like all citizens should be equal, like but I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah, it's very like controversial in Korea these days because of the gender conflicts. It shouldn't be go this way, but yes, but I think apart from of this gender conflict issue, but we need to think about this woman military service issue once again, like rationally, not the emotionally.
Connor, you still want to speak? Oh, now your mic is on.
Is it enough answer? Or no? I'm sorry.
Try speaking.
Can I ask a question to
Yeah, sure.
Israel student? Actually, I finished my military service 3 months ago.
Wow.
And I want to ask, do you feel proud about obligatory mandatory military service? 'Cause we actually don't.
So it depends on the person you're asking, but I do feel proud of my military service. I helped a lot of people, like I said, with problems at home while they are in the military, and I know many people who sacrifice themselves for someone and died. There are people who do not like the military. As in any place, there's downsides and good sides, yes. But most Israelis, since it's a mandatory service, do feel proud having served in the army during those years.
Thanks, Donna, for answering. 건우, I have an idea. 건우 씨, 이 미팅룸만 잠깐 나갔다가 다시 들어오실래요? 비밀번호 다시 치는 거 해서 마이크 다시 켜보게요. 들리면 한번 그렇게 해보세요. In the meantime, let's ask Chaewon, who's not in the room, but let's ask her if she has any question.
Rachel.
채원 씨 혹시 질문 있으면은 얘기하실래요?
괜찮아요.
괜찮아요? Okay. Chaewon doesn't have any questions. Okay, who else have questions?
Rachel.
Rachel, you go ahead first and then Kondu is next.
And then we will gonna wrap up this session after two questions.
Rachel, go ahead. Rachel, you should turn on your mic on.
She did.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she did. Okay, I will turn on everyone's mic and then turn it off again. So you can check your mic status. If it is blue, it is on. If it is gray / it's not on. Okay. Rachel, I'm turning your mic on. See if your mic is blue. On top left of your screen.
And her says she has technical difficulties.
She's having technical difficulty. I'm sorry. It's not working. It's not working.
She's saying maybe she'll log out and in it again.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
I'm saying she's trying to log out and then come to back again.
Okay. let's give Konu one more time. Is Konu here? Yeah, he's here. Konu 씨? 재빈, 오케이. 재빈 씨 얘기하세요.
Gonu sent me a message
Yes.
that he wants to ask. Are there any processes such as elitism from military service like here in Korea?
Which problem?
Like evasion from military service.
Evasion.
공격? Evasion?
I think I understand the question. So in Israel, there are ways to evade military service, and some people do that. Like you can get married, and then you don't have to enlist. You can get pregnant, and then you don't have to enlist. Yeah, and also if you're religious, you have like for women or for like Orthodox Hasidic Jews. For men, they don't have to enlist. Religious girls do national service sometimes. Sometimes they can. Sometimes they enlist. Depends like on your personal beliefs. So there are ways like where you can also faking like illnesses and stuff. Some people do that, but if you don't do your mandatory service, it's kind of like a controversial issue. A lot of people nowadays believe like there should be like separation. We should have other options other than doing the mandatory service, because like serving the IDF is not very easy for everyone. For socio-economic backgrounds, for people from different socio-economic backgrounds, like they have different options, but if you don't do your mandatory service, it can affect you later in life. Like a lot of jobs will not want to have you working for them if you didn't finish your military service. And also if you do your military service and you serve like as a combat soldier, or personally I was an officer, and stuff like that, it can give you like other options. Some people will choose to stay in the military because later in life you will have like better options, like for job places or experience for job places. But a lot of people do avoid military service for different like reasons. But yeah, we do have, I won't say it's a problem, but it exists.
I think that's very helpful. In here, Korea, as far as I know, serving the military is but I mean, if you haven't served the military, people will give an eye and start asking questions. Why? And why didn't you serve in the military? And there is a substitute military serving way option. I need to correct my comments before. We call it replacement military service. So you can see these people in a uniforms working in a subway stations or what is it? Somewhere there is a strike, a demonstration. These people come and support arranging their crowds, etc. So there's a way, but it's not heavily popular because Korean people who need to serve in the military, they're evading, like you said. They're trying to fake their medical records by breaking somewhere of their body parts, or just because of some wrongdoing. Now government are doing more close monitoring, and they want everyone to serve in the regular system. And last but not the least, Rachel, you wanted to speak, right? Rachel?
Military question, but I think now they added everything I wanted to say.
Okay, that's good. So I think we need to wrap up. We went over our given time. I hope everyone enjoyed our conversation. I personally enjoyed, and thank you for preparing for your segments. All of this video is recorded actually, so I think I will be able to share this videotape file to your email. I think by tomorrow. That's all for me. I will give Hyuntae mic.
Yeah, thank you for attending this KMA meeting on Metaverse. It's kind of like a pilot project for us and also for the University and HUFS as well. And anyhow, like I also really enjoyed, and I hope to see you in this metaverse world again. Yeah, I hope you have a great day, and then see you again. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Timon, also for bearing it with us. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.